Sunday! I apologize that this video is just now getting up. I have been a major slacker, but how's everybody doing? How are you since I last spoke with you, which was last week? Look at me getting this video up even though it's late. Yeah. How's everybody doing? First I'll just tell you what I read this week. I listened to the prequel novella, Cupcakes and Ink by Helena Hunting. On the audiobook, she pronounces her name as Helena Hunting, but I always thought it was Helena, so I don't know. So, can someone correct me? Anyway, I read that. I'm going to have my review for that soon. And then Bad Romeo. That's by Lisa Raven. I'm getting ahead of myself. I read that in once I sat down and actually just read it, I couldn't put it down. But I had some issues with it, but I still liked it. And I'm definitely looking forward to Broken Juliet. Yeah. My review for that went up on Friday, I think. So if you want to check that out. I'm currently reading, and by when I say currently reading, I haven't started it yet because I've been busy doing other things. But I'm going to be starting Before I Go by Colleen Oakley. That is a book that comes out on Tuesday, the 6th of January. I've talked about that book before, but if you haven't watched my other videos or seen any of my posts, it's about a woman who has cancer, or had cancer. She won the battle, and then she finds out that it's back, and it's really bad, and so she spends the rest of her days trying to find a new wife for her husband. So, super sad. If you like sad books, then you should at least look it up on Goodreads and see if it's something that you would like. I haven't really read any of it yet, so I can't really say anything about it, other than that's what I know what it's about. So as promised, I think last week I said I was going to do a video about my most anticipated books of 2015, and so I just put down a short list. I don't know how many are on here, that I'm really excited about. I'm sure I left some off, so if a book that you've heard me talk about isn't on there, don't be like, oh, well, do you hate it now? Well, I just haven't put it on there. I don't know, I just quickly put this down, and these are the books that have popped up. I'm a new Karen Marie Moning fan. I am new to the game, new to the Barons Club, but I am super excited about Burned, which comes out this month. Woo, woo. I'm so excited. And also, supposedly, we are supposed to also get Fever Born in October. So I'm going to wait until that's 100% confirmed, but that's what I hear, and that's what it says. So that's what it says on Goodreads anyway. But yeah, 2 books in 1 year, 2 Fever books in 1 year. That's pretty awesome. I just hopped on the Fever train last May or June. I don't remember when I read that series, but yeah, for all of you lovely people that have read the Fever series for years and had to wait between books, I commend you, because they're like crack and you don't want to wait. I sound like a Valley girl. You don't want to wait. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I still think about the cliffhangers in books 3 and 4, especially for me. 4 was especially painful, and I can't imagine not having the next book to go right into. Anyway, those 2 books, I'm excited about them. The next one comes out next month, which is Rebound by Noelle August. It's the 2nd book in the Boomerang series. I really enjoyed Boomerang. It's just a really fun new adult. I've said that a million times, I feel like. And this one is about the owner of the Boomerang dating company and the other woman that we met in the series, in the first book, I guess. That's all I'll say about that. He's a kind of a mysterious guy, and I really like those kinds of guys, so I'm really excited about that. Oh, and then the next book is Solitaire by Alice Oseman, and it is a YA novel. It comes out in March. And the blurb is very vague, and people are saying it's a honest portrayal of teenagers growing up as a teenager in today's age. So I'm assuming solitaire is some kind of like social media thing or something to do with technology. I don't know, but it looks, I'm intrigued. It looks really good. And a couple of my fellow bloggy people have read it and gave it really good reviews. So I'm looking forward to it. Oh, and the next book is a brand new addition to my to-read list as of yesterday. And that is Sweet by Tamara Weber. I don't know which one it is. Tamara Weber. I think I've always said Tamara, and then some of my friends say Tamara, so I'm not sure. Anyway, this is the third book in her Contours of the Heart series, which the first book was Easy. The second one is Easy's kind of companion novel, Breakable. And then Sweet is about a new couple. But the first line of the blurb, well, first of all, I really enjoy her writing in her books. So I added it, no questions asked. But I read the blurb last night, and the first line is, he's the love of her life, but he doesn't know it. Done. No questions asked. The next book that I added, or not added, but the next book that I'm excited about is Made You Up by Francesca Zappia, and it is also a YA novel. It comes out on May 19th. And this is about a girl named Alex, and she is in high school, and she doesn't have the ability to tell what's real and what's not. She can't distinguish between reality and what's fantasy, I guess. And I assume she's like kind of a loner, but she meets this guy named Miles, and she starts to kind of fall in love and be social, go to parties, do all the fun things that teenagers do, but she doesn't know if any of it's real. So anyway, but it says, funny, provoking, and ultimately moving, this debut novel featuring the quintessential unreliable narrator will have readers turning the pages and trying to figure out what's real and what's made up. So I'm intrigued by that one. I'm excited. The next one is a book that I won't stop shutting up about, but this is a no-brainer for me. Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I loved her first two books. This one, I'm sure, will be no exception. The plot sounds super unique, and she's just a really great writer and storyteller, so I'm really excited about it. If you haven't heard me talk about it before, it's about a girl, and she is going home to her hometown, and she goes to a bar and goes out with one of her friends, and she meets a guy there, and I think it's her former high school lover or something like that, and definitely a former flame, I guess. And so the book at that point splits in two, and you get to read about what happens if she were to go home with him, and then what happens if she stays and goes home with her friend. So it's kind of a book about fate and choices and things like that. Super excited about it. That comes out on July 7th. The next book that I am super excited about in 2015 is A Million Miles Away by Laura Avery. And it's about a girl named Kelsey. She's a senior in high school, and her twin sister dies in a car accident, and her boyfriend, who is deployed in Afghanistan, when she passes, she doesn't tell him that she dies, and so she pretends to be her twin sister when she talks to him online. And as she does that, she begins to fall for him. So it looks like a disastrous thing that's going to happen. It looks good. So Laura Avery, it comes out on July 7th, the same day as Taylor Reid's books. So, yeah. The next few books, I don't know when they're coming out. I'm assuming they're going to come out this year. And the first one is Marrow by Taryn Fisher. I'll read anything she writes. That book was supposed to come out at some point in 2014, but I think there was some hiccups. I don't know. She just said she didn't know she's going to release it or when she was going to release it. So I hope it comes out this year. But anyway, that one looks like another interesting read. The blurb is very vague, but it's about a girl named Margaux, and I think she's a serial killer. So yeah, I got time for that. The next book doesn't have a title yet, but it's the third book in Rochelle Mead's Age of X series. Talked about the second book a couple of weeks ago, but I read that the way it ended. It's not a cliffhanger ending, I wouldn't say, but it just definitely leaves you like wanting the next book. And so I think it's supposed to come out sometime this year. I know the other two books in that series came out around like May, so I'm hoping it's going to come out like early summer of this year because I want it. And the next book has not been announced yet either. Like, release date hasn't been announced, and that's The Friend Zone by Kristen Callahan. It's the sequel, not sequel, but it's the next book in her Hookup or the Game On series. And super excited about that book. I really, really enjoyed The Friend Zone, and there was like a little sneak peek of the next book in the Friend Zone, or in the Hookup that I read. There's a sneak peek of the Friend Zone in the Hookup, and definitely want more of that story. Can't wait. And then the last book is Christina Lauren's I did it again. I did this like 4 videos ago. Christina Lauren. Did I say it right? I don't know. Anyway, Dark Wild Night by Christina Lauren, which is the third book in the crap. It's like the Sweet Filthy Boys series, but that's now I can't remember the name of the series. I'm gonna have to look. Gonna have to look. Oh, Wild Seasons. Yes, Wild Seasons. This is the third book in the Wild Seasons series, and it's Oliver and Lola's book. And you got to see a lot of them in Dirty Rowdy Thing. And it's definitely a story where one of them is already like totally head over heels in love with the other, but the other one doesn't know. So I've really enjoyed the first 2 books a lot, and they're like, this series is like my go-to like fun new adult book. So I really enjoyed it. Looking forward to Dark Wild Night. And yeah, let me look through. Are there any other ones? I know I'm missing some. Yeah, I know. I don't know. Anyway, those are just some of the books I'm looking forward to in 2015. Tell me what you're looking for. If you're a blogger and you have a post to what you're looking forward to, send me the link in the comments, and I want to look. Tell me what books tell me your top, or you can tell me however many you want, I guess, but what's your like most anticipated book of 2015? Mine is probably a toss-up between the Fever books and Taylor Reid's books. So, yeah. Now, what books I added on Goodreads? I do that every week. So, yeah, I think the only books I added this week is the sequel to Bad Romeo, which is Broken Juliet, and that comes out April 28th. I want to find out like what broke them up in the past, so I have to read it for that reason. And then of course I already talked about this book, Sweet by Tamara Weber. I added that like yesterday, so I'm gonna try to like not add as many books unless I know I'm going to read them for a fact, because my to read list on Goodreads got out of control. Like, way out of control, like 700 books or something like that, and there's no way on God's green earth that I'm going to get to all those books. So what I did a few days ago is I went through and, like, decided which ones I wanted to keep and which ones I didn't want to keep, and I thought, I could always go back and add the books later, because I know I have, some of the books I own, but I don't know, I'm getting overwhelmed with the number of to read books on my Goodreads. So I don't know if anybody else is like that, but I just was like, this has to stop. I have to stop. So I don't know if I'm going to be adding books as often this year, just because it gets overwhelming and I'm like, maybe I'm just weird. Yeah. Have you guys ever cleaned out your Goodreads shelves? I do. I try to do that like once a year because I know it gets crazy, and like my tastes changed, and or or tastes change, like ongoing. I feel like my tastes evolve over time. So anyway, do I want to talk about goals of 2015? Sure, why not? I haven't really thought about this for sure, but I guess to continue kind of what I started last year is I want to be continue to be honest in my reviews. Try to review every book I read. I tried to start doing that last year, which I reviewed, I'd say maybe 75 to 80% of the books I read. I know there's like a few that I didn't write reviews for, and it wasn't because I didn't like them, it's just because I sucked and just wanted to move on and didn't feel like writing a review. But I want to try to write a review for every book I read, good or bad, just so I can have like a reference point when I move on and can look back and be like, oh, what did I think of this book and whatever. So plus it helps out authors. I know authors are always asking for reviews, whether it's good or bad, especially on Amazon. I'm not really sure like what. I think it helps the books become more visible on Amazon. I don't know. I don't write books, so I don't know. And yeah, just, I don't want to say be more selective, but just continue reading books that I want to read. I found pretty quickly when I started blogging a little over 2 years ago that reading books on a schedule can really cramp my style and can, you know, a lot of times I want to read the book that I will sign up for, obviously, or else I wouldn't have signed up for it. But when it comes down to actually like needing to read it for a post or for something, then like sometimes I may not be in the mood for it, and it kind of sucks. So I just need to be more wary of the books that I commit to. Not to be mean, but just because I don't like reading books on a schedule. So I don't know. Does anybody else feel like that? Bloggers, hello. And yeah, I want to keep putting out stuff that you guys find interesting. So if anything I post gets boring, I mean, I want to hear about it. But at the same time, I want to post what I want to post and what I enjoy posting about, because I want to keep blogging fun. And that's the other one. I want to keep blogging fun. I don't want it to feel like a chore. The moment it stops being fun, I've said this before, the moment it stops being fun, I will hang up my blogging hat and say bye-bye, because I think, blogging itself, not even book blogging, but blogging is just supposed to be an outlet for your feelings and just kind of a reflection of, your opinion. So the moment that becomes either impossible for me to be, I don't know, transparent, which I don't know why that would be a problem, but the moment it stops being fun, I will quit. What other goals do I have? I know I'm missing some. I haven't really thought of this. Oh, I guess another thing as a blog reader, I want to be better about commenting. I try to do that, but like with work and stuff, for me, a lot of the times I'll get home in the evenings and not feel like doing anything blog related, which is why I try to do things on the weekends. And so the blogs that I follow kind of pile up, and I don't get to them until later in the week. So I don't always comment on the number of blogs that I'd like to comment on. And I feel like so many of you take time to comment on my blog, which I think is so nice, that I need to be better about returning the favor and just commenting in general. So yeah, and I guess the last thing is just about Facebook. I know a lot of people are really, really upset about Facebook limiting posts and stuff like that, but to be honest, I've kind of like stepped back from Facebook just in general. Like, I'm still on it, but posting stuff on my blog, I just don't have time to post tons of stuff on my blog page. So if you follow my blog through Facebook and that's the only way you follow it, you might be seeing less content from me, and maybe you might like that. I don't know. But if you want to stay up to date with my blog, you can just bookmark my blog and just go there whenever you feel like it. Or you can just, I guess, subscribe by email, which I know a lot of people kind of they like because they know they're not going to miss something. But I know a lot of emails, if you were going to subscribe to a lot of blogs, it can kind of be annoying. So I know I have a lot of options of how you can follow my blog. They're all on my blog. So you can check that out. I'm on Bloglovin and Feedly, but I mean, not even my blog, but just blogs in general. Like, however is easiest for you to follow blogs, that's how you should follow the blog, whatever you like. I know a lot of people create lists on Facebook. You might subscribe by email, follow on Bloglovin. I don't know. Find the method that's best for you and go with it. This is really rambly. I'm going to stop now. Okay, so I hope you guys have a good week next week. Tell me what you're reading. Tell me what you finished. Tell me what books you're excited about in 2015, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye!